Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I've finally had a chance to sit down after a very busy week and get the Duke after waiting on this thing for months. I've been extremely excited about this ever since they announced it, and so far I am a big fan of it. I haven't really got to spend too much time in it, and unlike our other Black Square products that we normally get, I have a ton of time in the TBM 850, for example. And but at a glance, this one seems to be just as high of a quality, if not better. Actually, it is in fact better, simply because there's a tablet. What you guys can see here is, even though despite the weather being nice and warm, I just wanted to see how well it worked. We have the engine warmers along with the ground power unit here plugged into the airplane, keeping everything on. Now, I've only had enough time to confirm that everything controls-wise works, takeoff, land. And this is going to be a bit of a learning experience for me this afternoon. But I think it feels familiar enough so that, with the other Black Square products, that I don't think we're going to have any issues. One thing I didn't know here, look at that trim tab. The trim tab is way out of whack. State saving is, in fact, a thing, and it looks like trim tabs are one of the things that get saved. So that'll be interesting to see what all features are new on this compared to the other Black Square products. I know this is one of the more advanced products that they've come out with, so it should be fun. We plan on doing quite a few regional flights and giving her a go. If you guys have any questions, I will try and answer them en route. If you want to see something, let me know. And otherwise, it's like I said, this is going to be quite a learning experience for me, so I'm not going to be doing any sort of checklist. I'm just going to get it in the air, and I learn best by doing, so figuring out problems along the way tends to be my preferred method of the first step to getting into the airplane, just kind of familiarizing where things are and which button to push when, and then we'll start min-maxing the flow at a later date once we get a couple hours in this thing. While we are getting started, if you guys are enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe below if you haven't. And there's also some links in the description if you feel the urge to support the channel and everything it has to offer. Currently, we have just myself on the ground, unfortunately. I know that Kyle is on his way. He is waiting on a pizza to finish up, sounds like. But otherwise, I don't know if anyone else is going to join us tonight. So if you are interested in joining us, tonight is a perfect night to get my full attention, and we can get you up in there and join in on the fun. So without further ado, let's jump back in the cockpit here and start going through the aircraft to see what we can figure out, because like I said, don't really know what I'm doing with this thing yet. Alright, so got the tablet pulled up here. I got this really nice electrical page. Shows you everything, and it's live, so if you flick this master switch here, for example, you can see the green for on, turning on and off. So if there's any issues that we can't quite figure out, it's kind of nice to see this as a bit of a reference. Going over to the options page just real quick, a bunch of different avionics selections here. Currently we have the 750 and 650 GTNs through PMS 50, and I don't quite know what the unrestricted beta range is just yet. We may play around with that here in a taxi. We got the beta enunciator, the cloud strobe effect, so the clouds flashing when you're flying through them. And I have it to default in with the covers and chocks deployed. This says show cockpit from inside, so we actually have a full airplane, so we will leave her in here for now. I wish we could actually get the people behind us, but for VATSIM, monitor all when comms 1 and 2 are selected. Not sure what monitor all is, other than it's everything in the airspace. So I don't really have any experience with that on VATSIM. Normally I do a pretty good job of dialing into whatever frequency I need to. Truck, something bouncing around over there. Payload. We currently have a gross weight of a little less than 6,800 pounds. We have, 190 gallons of fuel on board. And like I said, we have a full airplane, just assuming an average of 170 pounds per person. We'll go ahead and remove the wheel chocks. And we'll leave the external power and the engine heater on. Engine heater, I didn't really need it with the temperature. It's like 80, almost 85 degrees outside. But I wanted to see how it actually affected the engine oils here, which actually looks like it brought it up to about 150 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty neat. I think it's like 60, 70 degrees above ambient temperature, which makes perfect sense here. You can toggle the nose baggage and cabin doors with these buttons right here. So it makes it a little easier than trying to find those hotkeys and whatnot. And then, of course, you can refill the oxygen. Little window on the side works here. Let's go ahead and open that up because it is pretty warm in here. And just for our weight balance purposes, before we leave this page, just looking at the COG here, we are kind of towards the tail, so put all the bags up front. Left engine, we'll take a look at this once we get started here. Engine is in 100% condition. Batteries are full, and haven't looked through every single graphic here to see what it does, but pod is simulated, so we want to have our inertial separators, which are called ice deflectors, turned on for sure. I've just kind of poked around in the manual, like I said. Don't have any experience flying this thing other than the 0.3 hours for test flying earlier, so forgive me if I do everything wrong, but that's probably what we're going to be doing today. Back to the electrical page, which you just looked at. Cabin, this is our, you got a pulse oximeter? Is it oximeter? Oximeter? Meter? I'm not sure. Oximeter, maybe. And anyways, it shows the temperature inside the cabin here, so 93 degrees. As we did just shut that door there, it's nice and toasty. So we'll get this thing up and running here in a minute and get started. Outside air temperature, 88. To avionics. So this is all the cabin air. This will be interesting to see because it looks like it shows you your cabin pressure, altitude, all that stuff. So, and then you get your failures page. We just have it on real-time failures right now, and no active failures. So that's good to know. We'll go back to the payload page here, and like I said, we're not going to be following any checklists. This is more of just a let's give her a try, see what happens kind of flight. So we're going to remove these items. We do have the ground power still back on. Batteries on both. Master on the avionics. Main inverter. Nav light. Don't need any of these at the moment. We'll go ahead and open our old doors. And go ahead and open our ice deflectors. We are on ground power, so I'm not too concerned about burning up power here. And let's go ahead and pull in our flight plan. We are in Grant County International in Moses Lake. And we're going to be heading over to Astoria Regional. Should be a pretty scenic flight. Menu, import, let's go from sim brief. Analyzing. There we go. Beautiful. Nice thing about the PMS-50 is all this stuff, I didn't have to enter the code or anything again, so. We'll be going direct to 26,000 feet, flight level 260, sorry. And battleground will want to be down around 16,000. Airport destination sea level. So if we go ahead and set our cabin pressure, we're going to 260, so we'll set it for, wow, okay, this thing doesn't have the best cabin pressure. We'll go a little above 260 there at 11,500. And then can I import? Oh, it's already imported there. Look at that. Beautiful. Can I show weather? I'm not used to using the 650. Oh, that's even better. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So winds are 2407. And we currently have 09 and 27. So 27 is probably going to be the winner here. Oh, it's kind of short. How long is 27? Oh, 3,500 feet. Okay, that's plenty long enough. Shouldn't have any issues then. I'm pulling some navgraph up over here. What did I say the winds were exactly again? 2407. Okay, yeah, so 27. Well, we could do 22. It'd give us a bit more runway. And we could just depart directly north out of here. So that might be the better option here. You pull up charts on the 650? I'm not sure. Doesn't seem to be the case, but there might be another way to do it. We're going to be on that 22, so we could probably go up to this intersection right here and work our way out. So that should be plenty of runway right there. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thing started up. So let's go down here, get our beacon on. Beacon and recognition lights, okay. Leave all this off over here. Levers are all down. Let's go to the left here, and we'll start engine 1 first. I started engine 2 earlier. So we'll go on the ignition, wing pump on the fuel, and starter on. Looking for about that 15% or so. And then we'll introduce the condition lever. Alright, condition lever. Cool. Ooh, got a bit of a hot start there. Let's make sure she drops real quick. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad. Really concerned if it gets up to, you know, almost 1100 degrees there. So that went past a little bit, but it was pretty brief. Not too concerned about that. Close this window up here. We are going to want to get the auto cool on. Alright, so the engine is stabilized. We can go ahead and go to auto on the ignition, and then gen on. Start her off. Hear that engine spooling up. It's kind of neat how it progressively increases the RPMs of that thing. Let's go ahead and go auto on the ignition, wing pump, and start her on for engine 2. See, these guys popped up for the air conditioning. And about 15%. Let's go to 18% and see what happens. 18. Fuel. Okay, that gave us a cooler start, so maybe we need to wait a little longer. Go ahead and get all of our external stuff off. Parking brake is set. Just want to confirm that. Alright, engine has stabilized. Let's go generator on. And let's look at our annunciator panel here. So, pitot heat. Go ahead and turn that on. Left oil door open. Left ice door. Oh, okay. Inertial separator, air conditioning on. Right engine ignition, left engine ignition. It's an auto at the moment, so the airplane's controlling that. And we should see that cabin temperature start to decrease. It's at 101 at the moment, so it's pretty warm in here. Let's go high on the vent blower. Maybe that helps out. Okay, it is decreasing, so. Propeller full. Yep, I am about to get there. I'm not sure on these Pratt & Whitneys if we are supposed to start with the propeller full or not. I don't remember off the top of my head. The 850, the TBM 850 you do, which is also a Pratt & Whitney engine, so probably. We got the pitot heat on. Like I said, we're not doing anything by checklist. We're just kind of poking around. Flight director is right here, so we are going to want to depart on runway 22. So dial in about 22. And we'll depart on a heading mode. So one nice little shortcut to autopilot is actually down here, but I think you can actually hit here, heading, and then we're going to do attitude instead of altitude, but we're going to 260. But we'll do attitude to give us a bit of vertical speed control. And I think you can hit the pitch up and down right here to control what it's doing. Alright. Pick this up today. Absolute pleasure to fly. Yeah, I've done a very short flight where I tossed it up in the air and kind of went from point A to point B, but that was about it. So otherwise, this is all new to me. So I like to hop in these things and kind of poke around because it helps with my mental memory of where things are. And then actually start going through flows and checklists and things like that. So let's check the annunciator panel here. Ignition, that's okay. It's an auto. Full doors open, that's okay. We're keeping it cool. Ice. Deflector on. That is our inertial separator. We want that on. Air conditioning on. Right ice deflector. Right oil. And okay. Everything looks okay. Temperature is dropping. Let's go oxygen on. Check our oxygen level is full. And we should watch that cabin climb once we get airborne. I guess we'll probably need to get above 11,000 feet though for it to really climb. Get a differential. So let's go ahead and get our taxi lights on. Track IR. Max, where did you take this thing earlier? I had quite a crosswind landing when I took it off earlier, so go ahead. Park brake off. Give her a little gas. There's that beta range, I guess. Oh. Park brakes work. All over U.S. East Coast. Awesome. What kind of ground speeds were you seeing? Oh, it looks like Kyle right there. And he is in the same airplane. Kyle, you good? I didn't realize you had joined. Playing with this and Beyond ATC. What do you think about Beyond ATC? Kyle, if you're talking, I didn't hear you. Alright, apparently this is actually the, we're going to be passing the military ramp here in a moment. Going west is about 210, east was like 250, 260. Nice. It's pretty good. Certain times of the year, you'll probably get some of those nice tailwinds and it'll be even better. Especially in the winter. Let's check on Kyle real quick. Ooh, sound. Holy crap. He's still back there. The sound is amazing. I'm just going to ignore the tour bus here. Oh, I probably should have taken a left there. Actually, I think we can take a left at the tour bus here. The one of the things, Max, and you may have experienced this, was the climb rate seems absurd in this thing. I was reading that max rate of climb is 4,000 feet per minute, which is just hilarious to me. Absolutely incredible. Plus, you know, we don't have a too many twins that I have, mainly the bear, honestly. So having another twin is kind of nice. I like Beyond ATC, but it needs some work. I like that it vectors you around, though on departures approach. Haven't gotten it to give me anything other than the visual approach. Okay. Alright, this looks more like a road than a Navigraph is telling me it's a taxiway, but we're going to take it and see where we go. We may end up doing a little off-roading here. Yeah, I mean, I imagine with the AI and everything that's integrated into it, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get everything right. But, you know, once they get it all smoothed out, I'm sure it'll be great. Is there a takeoff rotor trim? Alright, one thing we'll want to do is pitch trim. Go ahead and get that turned on. For our autopilot, once we do engage that. Kyle, you with us yet?
I am. I just got in, so it's gonna take me a minute. I'm trying to figure out how to close the cabin door right now.
Oh, pull up the iPad, and or you can kind of click through the wall of the airplane. I was poking around earlier. That's what it seemed to do. Ron says he's made it to Myrtle Beach. Congratulations, Ron. Send us a picture. I'm jealous. Yeah, climb is ridiculous on it. I feel like it should be seeing faster ground speeds, though. I don't think there is a way to see wind info either. So I don't know how bad the headwinds are. You can, if you got the 750, you can actually change one of these to wind speed. And we'll do that in the flight because this is not my normal configuration. Did you get that sorted out, Kyle?
Yep.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yep. All right. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and do this intersection takeoff here. I'll post them in Discord. Perfect. Thanks, Ron. I noticed that this thing likes to just keep drifting to the left. Where it didn't know that. Didn't know what. Alright, this is... Look at this mess of a taxiway right here. We're looking for 22, which is right here. We're going to pretend that this is actually correct. And then we'll go ahead and get ahead of Kyle here so that way we're not bunched up with each other. We appear to be clear right and clear left. Landing lights can come on. Come on, girl. Beta mode in these things is always strange. Oh, the ground speed on your 750 did it. Yeah, yeah. We'll look at that here in a minute. Don't let me forget, because I will forget if you don't remind me. All right, so we're gonna do a from dead stop to full power. Release the brakes, kind of start here. This thing does not like to roll too well. Keep a little bit of throttle into it to keep it rolling. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this one more time. Do like how bouncy the front nose is. Props and power are all the way, or I'm sorry, condition lever all the way in. No need for prop heat or any sort of anti-ice. Roll doors and inertial separators are open. Looking to be right below the red line there. We are cooling off at 90 degrees. And cabin air we can probably pull on. I wonder if that'll help cool us off here. May actually make it hotter, I'm not sure. Alright, everything looks okay. Let's go ahead and give her power. Drop the nose right there. That's cool. Ignition's turned off. We're bringing in that power. Alright, there's 1200 or so. Let's release the brakes. Check the trim. Trim's good. Knots. Let's rotate. Ooh. That was a right gear up. It does handle like a drain. That's nice. Put our nose over trim. Yeah, let's go flaps up. Alright, so let's go ahead and test this attitude here. So let's go autopilot on. Didn't know about the wind on the 750. Apparently Black Square Devs made a concession about ground handling to get it out before SU-15 goes live. Should be better once the update is live. Yeah, it did ask me when I installed it earlier if I wanted to go with update 15 or not, so I imagine it gets better. Before we get too far out of whack, let's go ahead and do a left turn here. We're in attitude mode. So we're climbing at about 9 degrees or so. And a rate of 2,500 feet per minute. So, with that being said, I think... I don't know if I can... let's get it settled here, but I think you can either trim with your hotkey or you use the pitch trim down here. One of the two. Change that. But we're about 9 degrees right now, but we're speeding up pretty quick. Let's check our temps. Kind of an inconvenient place for the temps there. Huh. And this thing is getting up and moving though. Super smooth in the air. Yes, it is. I did pull the power back a touch to get us out of that red area. So let's try this first. Let's do trim up on my joystick. It's fighting me. Okay, so let's do pitch up here. That moves it. Okay, cool. So it's I don't want to call it a vertical speed control, but at least an angle of attack control. Alright, we are coming up on the nav track, so let's go ahead and go over to nav mode. We are in GPS mode, which can also be seen here. Once we get the cooling under control, I think these doors should drop and give us a little more airspeed. There's 8,000 feet. The cabin is climbing. One thing I don't know though is if it's while it's in attitude mode, if it'll level off at 26,000 feet. I don't know how much you've messed with the autopilot, Kyle.
I think, I don't know if it's attitude, but I had mine in L and it would stop automatically.
It did not?
I don't know in an attitude, but in altitude mode it did.
Yeah, altitude mode. There's no vertical speed control in this thing other than attitude mode.
Right.
Max is saying it will. And attitude mode, just to confirm, Max. It'll capture whatever you have set in altitude. Okay, awesome.
What altitude are you going to?
260. We're gonna bring a bit of power back in since we were flying through. All right, landing lights can come off. We're above 10,000. Make sure that we're holding the correct cabin pressure here. So the cabin is about 6,000. It'll eventually get to a little over 11. I do like how it has this oxygen monitor built into the tablet. That's pretty fun. Just pretend you're looking at your Apple Watch. Before they got that banned. Hey, what's up, Architect?
What's up?
So looking at this, what's that? This shows ram air, which I'm assuming is going into here. This is interesting. Of course, there's a way to... Okay, yeah, so you target 70. Auto cool mode. PC compressor. Good night, Mark. Your initial separator's still open. Oh, yep, good catch. Now, don't know how this is going to affect it when we close it. Let's close the right one first, just to monitor one. We should get some performance back, which we are. I just want to make sure we didn't accidentally over-torque it. Let's go ahead and nose over just a touch. Thank you, Max. That's what I get for not doing any sort of checklist and just hoping and praying for the best. This is such an odd sight to be climbing at this angle. I feel like this thing's a rocket ship, man. Posted a couple in the screenshots. Yeah, Ron's about to make us all jealous about his beach vacation. Alright, so that's... okay. That was not nearly as extreme as the 850 and 850 mode. Now, Max, you may know this, is this door for the air conditioning, is that going to close once we get the temperature in the cabin? We're targeting 70, it's at 74 at the moment, and this is like a compressor. Or a ram air compressor or something like that. I think it's this piece right here, maybe? Go ahead and give her a little bit more gas.
I know that door, like on the ground, is wide open, and once you're up, it goes down to halfway, but I don't know about afterward.
Yeah, it should close at some point, but it hasn't yet. I'm just still impressed that this thing is still climbing at almost 10 degrees. It's like 9.5 degree climb right now. And our cabin pressure is a little bit below 10. Oh, we got a battery temperature gauge? That's a new one. Oh, well, heck. I wonder if this was nice and hot on the ground earlier. But yeah, just, you know, I skimmed through the manual earlier, and this was talking about ram air for the air conditioning. So once we hit 70, I'll be curious to see if that closes it. Oh yeah, air conditioning door right here. This guy right here. So I'll be curious to see if that closes once we get closer to our target temperature. I feel like this thing is chugging through some oxygen too.
What's up, Knock?
What's up, buddy? You gonna join us for the group fight? It is a stream right now, so just FYI.
Okay. I will keep it rated G then. Yeah, I picked up that Beyond ATC. I'm trying to get it to work.
Yeah, Max in the chat here was just talking about that. What do you think about it?
It wasn't recognizing my Yeti mic for like a day. I haven't implemented it yet in game yet.
And that's like microphone specific?
Yeah.
Weird.
Because you can learn how to talk back to ATC, so when you're doing VATSIM, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, I imagine it's super helpful for people just getting in the VATSIM. Me, I've got quite a bit of experience, so getting on the comms and VATSIM doesn't really bother me any.
I just love dealing with angry controllers. Like I was getting ready to come into Cancun yesterday, and I had a controller just like what the F do you want? I was like, I'm just looking to start my arrival into Cancun. He's like, he was getting even madder. I was like, look, it's either you can disconnect from VATSIM itself, or you can be issued a write-up, because you're not being helpful to anyone online at the moment.
Yeah, sometimes you come across the angry guys. All right, Max. Now I'm thinking about it. To adjust your corner fields here, if you go to menu and do change fields, you can change right here. So I normally like to have it up at the top left here, and I think it's under winds, wind speed and direction. There you go. So that'll show you the current winds and the direction relative to the airplane. So right now we got a bit of about a 28 knot headwind, so I'm seeing about 216. We did just get our 1,000 foot alert, which I love how this flashes right here. So even if you do go a moment and kind of forget about it, it's still there grabbing your attention. So let's see if this thing levels off for us. Oh, just went altitude mode. Awesome. That is wonderful.
Well, if you want something cooler, go on to Rex Simulations. You can get their weather force injection, so you get actual weather that's current to the area.
Oh, this should be on live time, live weather, which I have yet to find a weather engine that really does any better than the default.
Rex Weather Force 2020. I use that.
Okay, I'll have to take it back.
They use actual METARs in real life. So you just keep your sim on clear skies, and then it's going to inject the real weather into your sim.
Yeah. Left ice. Is that not the deflector? It says off. Oh, okay, it's just warning us off. Air conditioning on. Okay, so Max, are these the same messages you normally see? Cruise. Fuel temperatures coming back up. Well, it's bouncing around a little bit now that we close those doors back. Cab pressure is touch above 11,000 feet, which is what we want. And master caution. That's just the doors being closed. That's a very poor location for the oil temperatures. Right behind the throttles. I haven't paid too much attention to these screens yet. These are pretty cool. Oh, one thing we might want to do real quick is make sure we got a top of descent. It's not showing it currently. Utilities, decalc. We're going to look for a 2,000 foot per minute profile. Target altitude 3,000 feet. Waypoint. Our destination, since we don't have an arrival. At least I don't think there is. I'll double check the charts real quick. Nope. We do have an ILS 26 and an RNAV on 8. The weather is 300 and 11. So we can actually do the ILS on 26. So here, how about this? Let's go ahead and do that procedure, and that should give us stop at descent too. ILS, Zunab, just looking at the chart here, should be a good one for us. Yeah, that'll work. Or Zinky, maybe? Zinky, is that one? Yep, Zinky would be better. Just a touch. We'll approach. Love having this ability right here. Oh, look, that is kind of strange. Let's try a different one. Woo! Dang, we're coming up on our max speed here. Let's pull just a touch of power back. Oh, you know what? We could probably leave the power. Let's pull the prop back some. Quieten it down some. What's going on, that kid VR? How are you? Cruise settings for prop. Anybody know what they are? Bring it down to 1800 just to... How much? 2000?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring it back in. Perfect. This thing is buttery smooth in the air. Alright, so Zinky brings us into... Zunab is probably going to be the best one. Let's just go back to that. Yeah, we'll just stick with that. That way we don't have to worry about doing a weird turn there. Oh, now see, I had this... Huh. It's amazing to me how the Garmin loads things in sometimes. Let's just do a vectors. It's still wanting us to go direct to KAST. We'll just have to do a direct to Zinky when we get in that area after BTG. So I'm not sure if I can adjust that without deleting KAST here. Well, let's try removing that and see what happens. See if I break something. Oh yeah, see, that just removed the approach there. So if you go back to procedures, approach. Load. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. But we'll vector ourselves in directly to Zinky. Zinky has us at what altitude though? Well, Junsa has us at 4. And then the yeah, Junsa has the final perch fix at 4,000 feet. So. Don't see a top of descent anywhere. Back to utilities, VCAP, we're looking at 4,000 feet. Junsa. 24 minutes. Perfect. Oh, there it is. Now it's popped up. Right there at BTG. Beautiful. Ooh. Is that, what's the big mountain in Washington? Everett? Not it. Or that's the city, Everett. What's the big mountain in Washington called?
Got a bunch of them.
What's that?
Adams and Rainier and St. Helens.
What was the first one you said?
Adams.
No. Oh. Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know how to do that in the 750 either. Whenever you load an approach, it still has you overfly to destination. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. Rainier. Yeah, there you go. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was having a hard time hearing over the roar of this engine. Engines. Now, the one thing I do, I mean, I know I have a full airplane, but we're already down to 1,000 PSI on the oxygen here. You couldn't stay at altitude very long, I don't feel like. Rainier is 2 o'clock, Helens is 1. Okay, good. Rainier is the one I was talking about. So I'm assuming you said green was it's just kind of a notification more so than a alert. Is the amber color kind of a in between? Like this could be a problem in certain conditions? They did a great job with the sounds in this thing. There's Kyle. Where you at, Architect?
Trying to load in.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I'm jumping in at the dowels.
I'm
gotcha.
rookie paps right now too.
All right, so that door is still open. Let's go to low. We may have to consult the manual on that one. No idea what the old door is, honestly. Left it open to clear the alert. It's for the oil cooler, I guess. Cruise, you're supposed to leave it closed. Yeah, the oil cooler here. That's the door. So if we open up, let's do the left one. You can see it opening. And it just keeps that oil temperature, the operating temperature, versus. So we just opened the left one. You can see that decreasing a touch there, versus staying a little higher. And you can see it dropping off. And close it back up. We'll want that open on takeoffs, climbs, and landings. Similar to the naturally aspirated engine, you don't want the engine to cool off too fast. Alright, so let's do mission, figure out how to close this door. So we got the blower on low. Pressurization is in normal. There's not really a ton of air pressurization, air temp, pull to increase. And co-pilot air, cabin air, increase, decrease. We may have to consult the manual on that one. Master caution. Oh, that's where we were messing with the door. Man, it'd be nice if this iPad, you could maybe even like right here or something. Can you move it somehow?
I don't think so, but in all their videos, the guy just clicks anywhere on the iPad, you can drag it around. But I haven't been able to get that yet.
Yeah, I don't have that. Huh. Try turning cabin temperature off. That closed it. So now, can we get heat still? Air pressurization, can we pull this to keep it hot, maybe? Stabilize at 66 instead of dropping off like a rock. So maybe that might be the trick right there. Should have helped our ground speed. I think it's like 10 knots. It'll help you. And it's down to 65. So now you have the other issue is getting too cold. see what that settles out at. It's only dropped another degree after we turn that on. Well, I guess you turn on auto heat. Oh, just pulled a breaker. That was for air conditioning, getting the air compressed for the compressor. So if we have the cabin heat on, then I imagine it should stay warm. Target temperature 70. Oh, look at that. That's neat. Intercooler. Huh. Combustion heat. So it's in auto heat. What if we turn the blower on high? Master caution. I don't know what for. So we need warmer air. I'm almost out of oxygen. I may have to start descending here. I can't believe that. Yeah, I know we have a full airplane, but with a full airplane, we're running out of oxygen that fast. So there's 58. So let's open this all the way up. So it's forced to use the hot air, maybe? Oh, something's moving here. What's this guy? Oh, it's starting to change color. Interesting. This is so cool. Who would have thought that, you know, just controlling the air conditioning in your airplane would be so much fun? Stabilize at 59. Now it's saying it's 60, so maybe it'll start climbing again. Put the blower on high. It's not as simple as today's modern cars where you just put it in auto. So it kind of went to this green color now, but... Oh, it is rising. Look at that. Awesome. So, max, we got a ground speed of 259 knots with a headwind of 27 knots. That's max power and 2,000 RPM on the prop. We've been so busy playing with the airplane, we haven't even looked at the window very much. There's definitely some beautiful terrain around here. We are, how many miles? About 60 miles or so from top of descent. We're going to be descending at about 2,000 feet per minute. How much is this plane? I had a little bit of a discount because of some points I had through the Just Flight store where I've made previous purchases, and it was like $44 after tax, so I think it's like about 50 bucks. Solid. Yeah, this thing's a monster. Yeah, this thing's pretty impressive. It gives you things to do while you're in the air to kind of poke around and play with stuff, versus, you know, hopping in your 737 or your A320 and just pushing a couple buttons and you're off. Standby. Oh, this is a standby inverter. Interesting to see that the left engine is a little lower on gas than the right engine. 69 versus 70 gallons. Oh, we did start the left engine for a brief period longer than the right engine, I guess. So, speaking of oxygen, we are on the bottom of this bottle, so we may have to start descending sooner than later. I'm down to about 400 pounds on oxygen there. I assume it models how many people you got in the airplane, too. Let's pull some power here. Is that the emergency oxygen, though? No, that's been... This is modeling this gauge down here. This was almost 2,000 pounds. I don't know if there is emergency oxygen, but we are at the bottom of this bottle, so we need to start descending. So let's go ahead and go down to 10,000 feet. And let's go into attitude mode. And nose over some. Pull some power back. Make sure we don't overspeed. At some point, I imagine we'll have to swap the air conditioning back on. I wonder if you let your blood oxygen levels get too low if you start like blacking out. Well, I never turned on O2, so I guess I died. Okay, well, I guess that answers my question. We need oxygen hypoxia or is it a hypoxia simulation?
That'd be funny.
You start like you know, they're kind of looking around like, oh Lord, I can't read my instruments. Yeah, head's bobbing around.
Your passenger just falls forward and throws the controls some way.
Yeah, there you go. That would be hilarious. Alright, we probably need to descend a bit faster, so let's pull a touch more power back out. We are right on that overspeed line there. It's a little faster. This thing, I mean, we got the smoothest air possible for today's flight. I was originally going to have us go out of Aspen just to play with the performance, but it was so windy there, and yeah, I mean, it was like 30 knots when I was messing around earlier. So our oxygen usage should decrease as we get lower. Because I think it kind of correlates with how much it's working to pressurize the cabin, maybe. But we need to try to get down to 10,000 feet as fast as possible. Localizer is going to be 109.5 for our destination too. Because we're going to be starting to do our vectoring here in a moment. We'll bring our heading bug around. We're just going to self-vector with the heading bug. Come on, you can do it, airplane. So where the honeycomb is like, the slower you go, the faster it turns. Still trying to click around and figure out how to move the iPad. Anybody know the secret in the chat there? So we don't know. Fire bottle. Fireball. We could cheat and hit the refill oxygen button. Max, do you know what the unrestricted beta range does? for local altimeter. Let's go ahead and grab the weather there real quick. 3005. Okay, I think there's only 2 altimeters. Seems like it. A little bit more power out. We're on that borderline there. I think it's for if you have a button to toggle your throttle into beta versus having it half backward to trigger. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you have a like a button you push to go into beta mode, that would make sense, I think. See, I have a mod for the TBM 850 that removes the lockout for beta, so that if I'm you know, the physical real-world throttle has a notch in it that will let you know that you're about to go into beta mode, or prevent you from going to beta mode while you're landing or whatever. I have a mod that disables that functionality, so I can go into beta mode as I'm landing, which is, on one hand, a great thing, and on the other hand, the thing will drop like a rock when you do that, so it's kind of you gotta be careful. I wonder if it does something like that too. Alright, so we're back up to 68 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this up. And we're just going to go to auto cool. I should expect our flaps going to open back up, which it is. So that should slow us down just a touch more. And because we're going to be descending back down into warmer air. Outside air temperature is currently 20-ish degrees and climbing. On the PC-12, my throttle was at 0%. I just idle, so to go into beta, I hit a button and then throttle forward, and it goes into beta. This one I have to have it at like 10% to be idle. Yeah, I don't push a button or anything to go into beta mode on this myself either. We still do have the oil doors closed just to keep the temperature of the turbine oil up. Once we get into around 10,000 feet, we'll go full on the prop. And start vectoring ourselves into Zinky. This thing hand flies pretty well. Ooh, we got cold in here real quick. I have to turn the air back on. Yeah. It's alright. We'll take advantage of being cold for a minute while we are about to go get roasted again. Ground test. Fuel vent. What's the fuel vent do? It's down here on de-ice. I don't know if I've ever heard that before. A de-ice fuel vent? Alright, what's our O2 levels? I imagine we're about out of oxygen here. We are out. Oh, it's at 92%. Is that the, is that why that meter's blinking over at us? CO guard. That's really more for the engine, but there's 10,000 feet. We got here down here just in time because we are out of oxygen. I'm going to turn that off because it's kind of pointless to have it right now. Looking ahead at the terrain, we should be able to go ahead and drop down to 8. We had to. What is the percentage of O2 in your blood before you start going crazy? Start losing your marbles. I know the FAA required altitude is 10,000 feet, so it's, I mean, 92 must be okay. 92, yeah, okay, so I definitely. Well, I mean, it's 92 at 10,000 feet, so if you were cruising along and it was probably like 10. Cruising along at like something 26,000 feet or something. Anything below 95. Yeah, anything, well, I mean, a lot of people I imagine fluctuate around 95 to 100. So I would say 90 to 95 is, I don't know if it's bad per se, but it's probably worthy of concern. And bring that prop back in, get a little bit of power. Keep our ground speed up here. It's hovering at 92, and we haven't passed out, so I'm going to leave it there. Once we get to battleground, we'll go ahead and try a direct to Zinky, and if that doesn't work, we'll heading bug our way over. During the run, they were saying go to the ER if you were below 95. Yeah, but I don't know. I thought it was 92. Was it not 92 that they were saying? I mean, I kind of wonder if you went over and just didn't move, kind of shallow breathe on your couch for 5 minutes, if you would be at 95%. Right, we are getting some bumps here, so let's pull it back just a touch. Because I know when I sleep, my Apple Watch tells me it's like between like 94 and 99% most of the time. Get a nice little stuffy night or something, it's probably 94. That's still, yeah, we'll keep it at 10,000 feet here just because of our oxygen level concern, but we still got 50 miles to Zinky or so. Let me grab a plastic bag and a rubber band real quick and I'll do a science experiment. Max is going to be non-responsive here in a minute. We can't do anything about it. Do you have one of those O2 monitors from the Rona days, or some sort of fitness watch that or wearable that has a monitor on it? You know, I'm kind of surprised that this thing redlines speed-wise at like 200 knots. Which I didn't do any sort of adjustment on my temperature and career speed here, but .36 degrees. Yeah, matching my ground speed for the most part. Alright, we are doing returns, so let's go ahead and try to do a direct to Zinky. Activate. There we go. Beautiful. Top of descent included. Even better. Our final course is going to be 261, so we'll go ahead and dial that in. There it is, 261. On a heading bug. we are going to want to be at 4,000 feet. So we'll hit that top of descent and start descending. A little bit before Jensa. How long is it setting to our top of descent here? 9 minutes. I am going to run to the bathroom, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to go find a Gatorade bottle. Too much coffee. Is anyone here a fan of pickleball?
All the women in my life have tried to get me to play it.
We started playing it in our household this past about 9 or 10 days ago now, and it's actually a lot of fun.
It's fun.
I've been having now. I'm like addicted to it. I'm like, this is so much fun. This forget going to the gym right now in this nice weather. Let's go play pickleball. We can bring in a touch more power. Get our speed back up just a touch. All right, we had to turn our heat back on because it got a little chilly. Oh, we're down to 91%. Max, what are you doing to us? Well, it's kind of cool how it's got that outflow valve. So, can we... we should be able to decrease this. Because we're going to sea level. So what happens if we decrease this to our blood oxygen count? So we'll leave it there at 1,000. Good day, mate. What's going on, Paul? How are you? Australia. Awesome. It's amazing how many different parts of the world join these things. I've gotten to talk to some interesting people. Uh-oh. Max, does Ron know you? Quick, open the window. Oh, no, hang on. It's too cold. We need more heat. We are raising the pressure in the cabin, though, so I'll be curious to see if that helps our oxygen levels here. All right, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Visibility is perfect at our destination, so nothing to be worried about there.
can't believe how clear it is out here. And smooth.
Yeah, I got some bumps going on now down at 10,000 feet. But no, it's been pretty smooth flight for the most part. I'm gonna try the ILS. This will be my first actual approach in this thing where I didn't just dump the flaps and set her on the ground. They're my one test flight before I loaded in. We did have to descend to 10,000 feet though because we were out of oxygen. Apparently, you stuff 6 people in this thing and you burn through a tank of oxygen really quickly. Excuse me. Try to get a bit warm back up in here. Yeah, we're going to be doing the ILS to runway 26. Go ahead and set this down to 4,000 feet. Coming up on our top of descent here. I was confused about the way to establish climb or descent in the autopilot and discovered the attitude button is in conjunction with the up-down trim switch. Yeah, so we're in altitude mode right now, so what I'll do is I'll swap it over to attitude mode. And once we get to right before our top of descent, I'll start nosing over and pulling some power back. Try to establish about a 2,000 foot per minute descent. And it's a little different than what you're used to vertical speed mode per se. It requires a bit more monitoring than what you're probably used to. One thing I'm going to do real quick though, since we are going down into some terrain here, I'm going to go ahead and turn the terrain on the Garmin on. Let's get rid of that extra detail we don't need. And I have about 6 miles, so let's swap it over. Oh, well, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I guess you have to manually determine top of descent as well. If you have the PMS 750, no, you can dial it in and use the utility, or this is probably because the procedure's in there. You guys can also push up here for our convenience. Swap modes. Let's go ahead and pull some power. Prop is already full. And start nosing over gently. So kind of descent rate we get out of that. Make sure we don't overspeed. Get a little ahead of our curve here. Zinky, we need to be at 4,400, so we're about right. What we'll do shortly is turn our open our oil doors back open. We'll want to have that open when we get on our approach. Let's go ahead and get this tablet out of the way here. Not too worried about all that jazz at the moment. This is going pretty well. Let's go ahead and nose over just a touch more. I wonder if it'll automatically go to localizer mode when you hit approach, or if you'll have to manually swap it to localizer mode first. I'm going to track IR back on.
What do you say the altimeter was?
05. do our left turn here, I don't think, until we get closer to the water in front of us there. I'm guessing you need to switch the nav mode from GPS to fly the ILS. Yeah, probably. I just didn't know. We'll try just going straight into approach mode and see what it does, and if it doesn't automatically go to VLOC, we'll manually swap it over. Let's go ahead and get our pull doors and inertial separators open. This terrain looks like it'd be a blast to get the Robinson R66 out here and do some landings up in some of this stuff up here. Alright. Let's go ahead and pull some power back. John says we're supposed to be at 4,000 feet. So if we go ahead and go... Oh, see, it automatically swapped for us. Beautiful. Let's go into approach mode. Once we get our glide slope. It shows it in VLOC at the moment. Let's see if that drops out real quick. Oh no, we don't have the glide slope just yet. Alright, we're slowing up. Let's go ahead and get a notch of flaps in. Approach flaps. Bouncing around pretty good now. So Junta, we should get our glide slope. Alright, so I'm pushing approach mode, it's not doing anything. Oh, I think it just grabbed it. Yep, I saw it pop up on the HSI there. Alright, there is our glide slope. Landing gear. I feel like I'm just hanging out here. I've been a little early on the landing gear because I think that is the airport all the way up there. Glide slope is really shallow. It's coming in now though. And starting to descend. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, let's get configured for landing. Let's see, maximum approach speed I think is 140. Yeah, max full is 140. So you're well below that at the moment. Why is the attitude mode blinking at me? We are configured. Looking for about, I think it's 100 knots on the approach speed. Recommended approach, 100 knots, yep. And all doors open, and there's separators open. Landing lights. I think we're good. We can go on down to sea level here. Or I guess we can dump the pressure. Probably should have gotten that a little closer to what the actual number was, but wow, look, this thing nose over. Wind's a little rough. Get back over to auto cool. It's gonna be nice and warm on the ground. Oh, never mind. It's actually only 63 degrees on the ground. Leave it on heat. Get this thing nosing over fighting this wind. Alright, go around procedure is climb straight out 1500, right turn 2900, and direct to 1140. This is the longest approach ever. Does this thing have any sort of wing flicks in it? Doesn't seem to.
Depends on how hard you pull.
Once we get to the edge of the water here, we'll get it down closer to 100 knots. I'm just trying to not waste too much time here. Gears down, 3 green. Flaps are full. Annunciator is as expected. Get her on the ground. Traffic. Some power lines here ahead of us.
You got a King Air and a TBM right behind you too.
Oh, do I? Oh, it's CRJ. Look at that.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
I'm good.
Haven't seen you in a while. Didn't even know you were on here until I happened to look back and saw your gamer tag.
I just joined it.
This is a beautiful area. I just randomly picked this. Alright, look for closer to 100 knots here on this short funnel. Once we get established at that, we'll pop the autopilot off and get her on the ground. Winds are 300, 11, gusting 16. So slight crosswind right to left. Alright, autopilot off. Not really having to touch the throttles any, which is nice. Or the trim. They just following a flight director and keeping an eye out front. Somebody off on my left there.
That's me.
Scooch it over to the right a little bit. A little low. No pappies here, guys, just FYI. This is a very pretty airport, though. Get that nose to the right into the wind just a touch. Coming in. Let's pull little throttles. Little floaty. There we go. Reversers. Let's get on those brakes. All right. Welcome to Astoria. Flaps up. Let's exit to the left. On the shutdown runway. Bit of a windy approach, but we made it in one piece, so that's good. Still stomping on the rudder pedals, try to keep it on the ground here. Look at that windsock. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back here. This is a absolutely beautiful place to land. Park and brake. Rock's feathered. Let's let her cool off. Thank you, Paul. See what that landing rate was. 96 feet per minute. Take it. Let's go ahead and close up these doors. Go ahead and shut our avionics off. Turn off the inverter. And let's condition levers off. I like how these things light up blue. It detects an engine fault.
Isn't it supposed to be red?
Did you say it's supposed to be red?
Like red seems like more of danger.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, those levers are normally blue, so I guess they just put a light on them. Alright, so our beacon come off. We get our nav off. Fuel heats. And we are going to get our little chocks, pitot covers, engine covers, sonar power, and don't need the engine heater. There's some igniter turning on. Oh. Oh, wrong button. Okay, yeah, that was the igniter. Huh. CRJ's on the ground. Oh. Sentry just landed and Kyle's falling in behind him. How'd you remember your landing gear? It sure didn't look like it. It wasn't down, and then on my screen it looked like you just smacked the ground. Oh, you got your wheel chocks out too. That's goofy how MSFS does that. I've got the wheel chocks and the engine covers on my airplane, and it shows up on Kyle's.
Oh.
So if we zoom back over to mine, you can see that. Well, that was a lot of fun. It's nice having a new aircraft, and it just works. You know, there's not a bunch of bugs. I feel like we get airplanes these days that are just bug-ridden messes. Let's go ahead and refill our oxygen. Well, we're thinking about it. You can see the gauge going up. Check your engine health. That's all 100%. That's beautiful.
Did your CDI work, like the one below your HSI?
Yes.
Mine's acting up like not working.
Oh, the OBS?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it did not. This is the HSI work though. All right, be right back. I guess I appreciate everybody joining tonight. I hope you enjoyed that flight. That was a lot of fun for me, and it's always fun getting something new to play with. We should be back on regular schedule this week for a group flight on Thursday for GA stuff. So we could potentially be back in this, but probably be in something a little smaller. I'm feeling the need for some bush flying, some good technical stuff. So we'll figure that out as we go throughout the week here, and then let you guys know in the Discord. If you guys want to check that out, it's in the links below. If you have any questions, feel free to join, and we get you set up with anything you're having issues with. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys once again for joining tonight, and I will catch you next time.